Truthfully, VR chat never really changed. I was initially going to release a new Predator video, but recently I've become increasingly confused about my work. I want you to see a video by Darafog titled The VR Chat YouTube Dilemma. It discusses the overall usefulness of Predator exposure content. A virtual world full of thousands of users, and yeah, they're all here to socialize and have a good time. That's what I used to have on VR chat when I was younger, with my 2,296.5 hours. Yeah, you can call me a degenerate, but this is in the span of 6 years, so not really. I remember games like Murder 1 and Murder 2, The Black Cat, and Uganda Knuckles meme. This was the peak highlight of my VR chat life. I joined VR chat because I admired one specific content creator named Lolathon, who managed to make me laugh. He never failed to impress me with his avatars, get me to laugh when he scared others, and just had an overall good time. And that's when I decided I wanted to pursue VR chat, joining in on the fun. I bought myself the Rift S headset, and while it was the most significant piece of junk in my eyes, it was still semi-functional even with the horrible stick drift. I had fun with friends and met new people, and VR chat became somewhat of an addiction for myself, but not to the point where I couldn't pull myself out of the game. VR chat is still what it was, but with new people being introduced pretty much every day, but eventually everything changes. When I was younger, I had no conception of anything that I do now. Predators lurked around every corner, even when I was 1 year below the legal age of consent a few years back. I had met a user on VR chat whose name I won't give out, but they were 30 at that time and had a kid. They told their friends to remain silent about dating me, and then told me to stay quiet about my age as long as I promised not to tell anyone. They waited until I was 18, just as any predator would, and I got close to them and got stuck in this delusion that I was in love, but I wasn't. I was a victim, sworn to secrecy, and on multiple times, I had done things with this person, and while it was embarrassing to share this information with you, I was a kid. And I regret every second that I spent with this person because I know what they are now and what they had done to me. Those VR chat predators have always existed, and that is the truth. But there will always be content creators like Lolathon and other content creators on VR chat to make VR chat overall less insufferable and more enjoyable. A video that I mentioned earlier by Darafog discusses the overall negativity that exposure videos bring. And it's very accurate. Exposing a human being for being evil is never fun to hear, nor is it meant to be fun to hear, in my opinion. Exposing predators is not meant to entertain. I think it really should only be there to bring awareness, and not so much focus on entertainment. There is no entertainment in the suffering of children, and there is no entertainment or joy in having someone ruin their own lives by doing things with kids. It's sad, it's disgusting, and horrible for all parties involved. And let me tell you, I've been doing this for around 7 months, and I've seen nearly 700 cases, but only completed around 60. That is an unprecedented number of people who want to share their stories of predatory behavior, and I genuinely want to help you and help them. But truthfully, I've let you all down. I'm just one man trying to go over a year's worth of cases, and some of which I've had there for a very long time. And I just can't crank out exposed videos for you fast enough. I can't get to all of you so far, and I wish I could. Still, I want to try, and I know I can, because I want to. I want to get your story out there for others to hear, so you can have that security and have that justice. The security that I didn't have personally growing up and playing VR chat. However, another good point by Darafog asks, what does exposing an individual actually accomplish? Well, my answer numero uno is that it will always be awareness. We want children to stay safe and away from these horrible predatory monsters. We also wish to see these monsters behind bars, though, permanently. And that's where the hotline reports and the tickets and the police come into play. And I'll be honest with you, I've tried my best to fill out a ticket and to put a detective in play for every crime that these awful VR chat predators commit. I've given away my legal name on 6 occasions. On 6 times I've given my legal name away to the authorities, hoping that I was doing something right. But at last, we've only ever really had one person put in jail, and that was Dashi VR. Pixie has a law actively investigating. Kamaravity was arrested for vandalism after predatory reports. But aside from that, those small few instances of things being done, there hasn't been a lot of success on my end after refiling these reports. I feel like I'm not accomplishing what it means to call myself a predator exposer like Chris Hansen, who can actually get these people in jail. So far, it seems like law enforcement doesn't see these things or care about these predators, but I assure you, the things I've seen, virtually these people are genuinely real predators. They deserve to face criminal charges for their horrifying actions. What more can I do than beg them to take my reports seriously? Do I just stop exposing people altogether because it's not accomplishing anything beyond awareness? No, of course not. Do I stop exposing people because I'm overwhelmed by the sheer number of reports? No, of course not. I have seen the results firsthand, and as few as the repercussions were for some of these people in terms of law, it's still something. I cannot stop exposing these people because they have hurt other people who have real emotions like younger me. I'm not going to try to paint myself as some self-righteous hero crusader who's going to cancel you for not siding with me because I call out predators. I think that's lame and the opposite of what it means to be humble. If you have your own opinions, please don't hesitate to give me criticism. Honestly, that's the truth. I want you to be honest with me. Give me the good and the bad and whatever in between. I'll take it. Truthfully, beyond feeling like I've disappointed you all, I've also mainly disappointed myself for not getting the results I want for these bad actors, and for being unable to get out all of your stories. I felt very, very down, and that's the truth even before the video by Darafog. It is mentally taxing to have to see the things that I have to see 24/7, to have to deal with the people that constantly want to harass me because I expose them for being awful. And it's not just me that they want to harass me, my wife, my community. They even go so far as to threaten my very life and my family's life. And it's all because I just call them out for being gross. It is very taxing to have so many people's eyes on you, looking to you for help, but then also looking to try to harm you. Darafog also mentioned the fact that there are many predator exposers that don't even bother trying to report these individuals. And in most cases, if that's true, it most certainly has to change. We aren't doing anything other than bringing awareness if we point fingers at the person and just expose them. While I think awareness is good, it may not be enough to frighten off some of those predators for good, and that's what we want. We want to demonstrate that we want to protect children truly by getting law enforcement involved. They're the only people that can truly put these criminals behind bars. So, from this point forward, at the end of every video I make with predatory content, I will start adding screenshots of the hotline tickets, and if known, I will contact the area's local authorities and provide screenshots of such interactions. I've done this quite a few times, but this time I want to get really adamant about it and just let everybody know what's going on. I refuse to give up and lie down in this coffin while predators run free, affecting others both IRL and VR. But it's time to adapt like Maharaga and do things correctly here virtually. Let the law see that we take it seriously and that it's not just a joke. Finally, if you're making predator content for views or for money or to farm drama and attention, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Our common goal should be to help people. Our videos shouldn't bring negativity. They should be a beacon of light and hope for today and tomorrow's generation. So my disappointment is beyond immeasurable when I see comments state that predator content is simply just depressing drama. Still, I can understand how it can be perceived as such, as it does seem that way when there are no legal repercussions for these people. It seems like a quick cash grab, because these predators, they get to walk scot-free. Now, I hear some of you saying, Sileskios, your videos are monetized, and you've talked about it a couple of times. So why is that? Well, to be honest with you, I have dedicated my life to keeping people safe and spreading their truths for as long as possible. And currently, it's the only way that I have to support my wife and myself. But aside from that, it's just genuinely what I'm passionate about, and I love to do it. This is the best job ever. Ever since I was little, I wanted to help people and make content, and I can finally do that here on this platform. And by getting out the stories that you all have, similar to the one that I had years ago. I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and I'm thankful to every one of you watching this video. There is no Sileskios without you watching this. So thank you again so much. I wouldn't be here without you. Now, prior to this, I actually had thought about doing content where I'd go around and try to joke around and cheer others up and flip the coin and try to make skits and make people laugh on VR chat, and not trolling, of course. No, not trolling. I'm going to leave that to Aspexel and Ratgrave and Erglaw, whoever else wants to do that. But who would take me seriously if I turned around and genuinely gave my efforts to make people happy, and then if I turned around and genuinely gave my efforts, 100% effort, to exposing predators as well? I could never wrap my head around that question to answer for myself, so I just never did it. However, I wanted to do this to demonstrate to you all that VRChat isn't just evil. It's not pure evil. Even with the unexpected, unprecedented number of predators. Those predators have been there since the very beginning of VRChat. So, VRChat never really changed. But all of those content creators that make you laugh, those that scare you, those unbreakable moments you make with friends in worlds, and seeing the beauty of those virtual scenes, those are unforgettable experiences that make VRChat a truly beautiful platform. It is not all dark for VRChat, and while the topics of predatory behavior are indeed very dark and frighten others, I don't think they should be. It should be a bright light for others. It should give others hope, knowing that they can be heard and have their stories heard. It should give others hope that there is someone out there willing to help hold these monsters accountable, even virtually. And then, of course, to even have that security by getting them physically to face repercussions via the law in real life. That is ideal. Well, this has been my TED Talk. I hope you've enjoyed my ranting session here. I plan to try to improve my consistency from previous 95% filing tickets to 100% filing tickets. And I hope to further attempt to call the local authorities and make actual change. I hope I will, at least. And I hope to see a change in results. I'll do my best to update you on X or Twitter regarding anything law-related. I'll also try my best to continue getting your stories heard and to do you justice, other than exposing people and bringing awareness. Thank you for listening to me talk. I'm losing my voice. I need some water. And thank you for getting me to this point. Thank you so much, and caring enough to help keep others safe. I really appreciate you. We're almost at 35K, and I never expected to reach this point, both in my life, and I'm very happy with my channel. I'm very happy with my friends and my family, and I'm very proud of each and every single one of you out there keeping children safe. Thank you so much for what you do. This has been Sileskios. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and the others around you. Bye-bye.